Okay, good afternoon. This is the 4th of July. And in Alliance, Ohio, it's 7:17 p.m. But I've calculated a chart about a half an hour ago, which I have labeled the insidious death plot of the power elite. So, going right to it, we see, first of all, the insidious death plot is the conjunction of Saturn and Neptune, which has been going on for quite some time. But you see, it's very close to zero of Aries. So it is universal. I mean, there's a lot of death killing going on. But the one we're looking at here, it has to do with real estate, because it's on the cusp of the 4th house. This is my horary. So, take it or leave it. But anyway, insidious death plot for real estate on the behalf of the power elite. Now, I'm thinking that's Gaza, what I think about, Now, also notice that there's Sedna. Okay, so that's Saturn and Neptune on the cusp of the 4th. Now we have, in the 6th house, we have a very close conjunction. It was exact this morning of Venus and Uranus, which is some sort of, movie star power. But Sedna, on behalf of victims, in other words, there's a lot of, movie star power on the behalf of victims of this genocide in Gaza, to bring it into familiar terms. Now notice that so in the 6th house we have Uranus and Venus. Sedna is that weird one, and Admetos is like the Mercury with the cross in the center. Admetos is narrowing it down to a certain set of victims. Now notice way across in the 11th house by a 150-degree angle, or a sesquiquadrate. No. It's an inconjunct. I'm sorry. It's an inconjunct. 5 houses, 5 signs apart, is the mass of the people. Now, which is the moon with Apollo. Now, notice the 3 Jupiiiter type of planets are all forming an aspect right now. There's Jupiiiter in 5 of Cancer, Apollo in 5 of Scorpio, almost exact, 541, 542. And then Cupid in 8 of Capricorn. That's a little off. But notice that the moon is bringing this all into focus, because the moon is in 6 of Scorpio, 28. So the moon bringing Apollo into focus, we have a large group of people well-meaning people. I would say that they're like the opposite, or the enemies, or the opponents of the power elite that is plotting the insidious plot for genocide in Gaza. In other words, this is a group of, you have figured out my politics by this time. This is the good guys, the Jupiiiter in Cancer, and a group of good guys focused by the moon. In other words, the moon at this point, public sentiment is with the good guys right now, or the guys that are opposed to the genocide, the people against the insidious plot. Now, The reason I bring this up because, I haven't really told you anything you don't know, except it is very interesting because you have uh, Uranus almost entering zero of Gemini. Well, in the next few days, Venus is in zero of Gemini, and Sedna's in one of Gemini. So that's all in the early degree of Gemini, and giving trine to the Pluto, which is in 3 of Aquarius, another air sign, and then across from that is pretty much exact and this has been that way, the vulcanus. So vulcanus opposite Pluto, but it's receiving the trine from Venus and Uranus. So there will be a sudden amelioration for the victims. And the admetos is going to restrict action. So it's probably in the news already, and people are going to say you didn't make that up, you read it in the news. But I'll say there's a truce. There's a truce coming, right any minute now. So I better hurry up and publish this before the truce happens, right? Okay, this is Bill Kennick, your Uranian astrologer, signing off and trying to get this thing published. Let's see, where are we? How do you like my paisley shirt, by the way? That's all good things.